Welcome to the Unpopped Review, movie reviews from a movie lover and not a movie critic. Is this the moment we've all been waiting for? Is this the time when video game movies finally get good? Well, let's see. This is Warcraft. So in Warcraft, the Orcs' homeworld is dying, so Gul'dan, a mystical orc, opens a portal to the world of the humans so they have a chance to survive. For now, the humans need to fight back to protect their land. So that's the basic plot of Warcraft. Let's start with what I liked. You can't deny that the graphics are spectacular. I personally got to see it in IMAX 3D, and there were some close-ups on the orcs' faces that were just amazing, and they were absolutely perfect. So as visual effects go, they were definitely top-notch and some of the best I've ever seen. And then the fighting was very raw and brutal. When the orcs lifted up the hammers and the axes and came down on the humans, you could hear and feel the weight and the bones crushing. It was honestly just so realistic and so gut-wrenching. I honestly couldn't believe it. But unfortunately, the look of the movie was the only thing that I thought was good. So let's go to the air. Now I think here's where I need to explain that I have played Warcraft 1, 2, and 3, but I have never played World of Warcraft. So much of the fan service and Easter eggs was actually completely lost on me. But I can tell in my theater there were a lot of World of Warcraft fans that were cheering and having a great time watching it. But the average moviegoer won't care and will probably get a little lost because of it. And then the plot was just completely overstuffed. There were about 7 different stories being told. There was a Chosen One story, a story about love that was completely forced, a magic story, a story about his son trying to live up to his father's reputation, about 3 separate internal rebellions, and then on top of that, the main story of the Orcs invading. And with so many things in the movie, I could have seen this much better as an extended TV series or maybe even a trilogy. It didn't all need to be just in this one movie. It was honestly just way too much and made the pacing all off. Lastly, let's go on and talk about the ugly. And the ugliest, worst thing about the movie was actually the final fight scene. Now, like I said, I thought the fights themselves looked great, but this final fight went on way too long. It had multiple times when it could have ended. And the first time I thought it was going to end, I was like, oh good, this is kind of a good ending. But then something would happen and it would keep going for another 5 minutes. And the next time I think it's ending, I'm like, okay, this ending's not as good as the previous one, but it's okay. And then something else happens. And it just keeps going and pounding it into you. And each ending is worse than the previous one. I feel if they would have stuck with the first ending and cut it down a little bit, it would have been so much more effective. And since it was at the end of the movie, it honestly made me leave the film even more run down and tired and bored than I was before the fight. But hey, at least that's the only thing I thought was ugly. So honestly, if you're a World of Warcraft fan, you'll probably get much more enjoyment out of this than the average moviegoer. But for the average person, Warcraft was just overstuffed, boring, and forgettable. So if you do wish to go see it, I say catch it in a matinee showing. Man, I was really hoping this was going to be the first good video game movie. Well, here's hoping for Assassin's Creed. So that's what I thought of Warcraft. What did you think? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember to always keep it unpopped.